Welcome to another video by Dirty Dane. Today we're going to be upgrading this Mac Pro 1,1 from 2006 that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace about a week ago. But I asked the guy, hey, would $100 work? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. I wasn't looking for one, but I was just browsing around and I saw this for, 120 or something like that. And it had a quad-core 2 GHz processor, 13 gigabytes of RAM, kind of a measly 256 megabyte graphics card. Either way, I've always wanted a Mac Pro, and even though it was from 2006, I was thinking, hey, what if I could make the best or fastest or most powerful 1,1 2006 MacBook Pro with the least amount of money? So without further ado, let's get into it. These are most of the tools I use. Here's some thermal paste and T15 screwdriver, blah blah blah. Alright, so here's the RAM I purchased, and here is the graphics card I purchased. Along with the RAM, graphics card, and 2 quad-core Intel Xeon processors at 1.8 gigahertz, so 8 cores, 110 altogether. And I'm not going to be able to install the GPU today because I have to wait for the power cables that connect to the PSU to arrive from China. But we'll do that and an SSD upgrade in the next video. Here's the new RAM installed. I can easily just pull out the RAM risers. Here we have 32 gigabytes of RAM. The two to the top right that have the heatsink thingies on them. Those are the only original, and by original I mean what I bought from the guy, so they're probably not original, but those are the only ones I left in there because they were both 4 gigabytes. So in order to install the CPUs, you have to take out a bunch of stuff before you can even get to the heat sinks. You can see here the fans. That's from the left-hand side of the case. You'll see that in a bit, but also the piece of plastic on top of it, that's kind of in between the RAM chassis and the heat sinks, and it's a bitch to get out. It took me forever, and that's why I didn't film it, because I'm shooting in 4K and my phone doesn't have that much space, but I eventually did it. I already have it half kind of taken apart. That's where the big gray fans, double fans would go. And then this is a double time speed of me attempting for the first time to get the heat sinks out. And it took me forever. As you can see, I was able to do this a couple more times and get it way faster. But when you do it for the first time, it seems like almost impossible. It's like not impossible, but like they make it really hard, especially if the screws have been like kind of sitting there for a long time and they're almost seized. You kind of have to access them at weird angles, and as you can see, I'm like, this screwdriver is at no point almost a 90-degree angle, and I eventually had to get to just to get some of the screws unseized, I needed to use an Allen key, which I can only turn like a quarter of the way before I have to go back and try to find a groove to keep going, and eventually it would come loose enough that I could use the screwdriver to take it off. So obviously here I took off one heatsink already, and I'm trying to wiggle around this RAM chassis to get at some of the other screws, but I'm just like, oh my god. So anyway, the camera runs out of space, and that's why you only see me taking out one heatsink, but you get the idea. It's really irritating to try to get it off, and you can see how frustrated I was. So here's the GPU. It's a Radeon MSI R4090 1 gigabyte graphics card, and I don't have the power cables that connect from this to the PSU of the computer, so I'm not going to install that today. But here's the new CPUs. So here are the heat sinks with the old thermal paste still on, and you can see how gigantic they are. So here you can actually see everything together. You can see where the fan was on the left, the little heatsink shield to the right of that, and to the right of that you see all the RAM. And also up above, it has 4 hard drive slots And I replaced a couple of the hard drives with these like laptop or slimline HDs, and this one on the left kind of just sits there nicely. It doesn't sag. The one on the right is slightly more, slightly heavier, so I had to keep it not sagging with the electrical tape. And then I installed a Wi-Fi airport card that I got from eBay. And it's pretty easy to install. The worst parts, like always, are the Wi-Fi antenna. So here's the old CPUs, just chilling. And here are the new CPUs installed. So with the thermal paste, you're gonna wanna put a decent blob on there. Not too much, but also enough when all the heat sinks are pressed down. It applies relatively easily. Hopefully no air bubbles, but this isn't the first time I've ever actually applied thermal paste to CPU, so it's a first for me. Let's add a tiny bit more here, just for good measure. This is a Bluetooth chip that I got from this motherboard of a 2007 iMac that I got on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or whatever for like 40 bucks. And here the little, if you're wondering where the sleds were for the second and third hard drive slots, here they are. One's still attached to the old hard drive, but I don't need it right now, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But you can see they exist. It'd be nice to have those hard drives into sleds, but you know, what can you do? So now I'm going to install the little Bluetooth chip. You just push that down into place. A couple screws comes with. Put those in either corner where the screw slots are. And then the hard part is getting this Bluetooth little Wi-Fi connector thingy onto the one connector, just like the Wi-Fi card. But you can see here, even though this is 2x speed, I'm super struggling getting it on, but eventually I get it. So just keep calm, and eventually it'll, you know, there we go. All right. Ooh, so there's a shot of both the Wi-Fi card and the Bluetooth. So let's put that case back on. Just slides into place. Lay it down. Snap that. Snap it. Here is the stats of the computer. You can see everything's good. You know, we got all this kind of stuff. Here's the graphics card, which I'm going to update. It's only 256 megabytes of VRAM, so, you know, what can you do? But I'm just quickly clicking through these tabs. If you really want to pause it and check out everything, go ahead. So yeah, we got the got everything going. So as you can see here, we have Wi-Fi on, we have Bluetooth on, and so let's see what kind of programs I've installed so far. So right now I have Firefox. Boots up decently fast. It'll be way faster, I think, once I put an SSD in here, but just keep in mind that it's running on an HDD. So let's open Photoshop CS6. And all of these are totally legit copies. You know what I'm saying? Don't pirate. So it gives you a little warning that your graphics card sucks ass. But it's Photoshop, so like, you know, you're probably gonna be fine. Let's quit that just to see, you know, how fast things boot up, that it works. Let's try Final Cut Pro. So this one's taking a bit longer to do it, but you know, it's also giving the warning that, hey, your graphics card sucks ass. You might have some problems. I'm like, I know. But hey, there we go. It works. Awesome. Ooh. Logic Pro 9. So since this is running 10.6.8, it doesn't run Logic Pro 10, but it does run Logic Pro 9. So it's pretty similar. The biggest difference was the UI. So next time I'll install an SSD and the graphics card for the next video, but I hope you enjoyed this. Again, keep in mind this is not a tutorial, so if you want a tutorial on how to do these things and you know, you're a little bit, I don't know, you don't really know what to do, check out the more detailed ones on YouTube. But it is possible. So yeah, 2006 computer has 32 gigabytes of RAM, 8-core CPU, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and about 2.75 terabytes of space so far, almost 3 terabytes, and I can make that more if I wanted to. But yeah, all I gotta do after installing the SSD and the graphics card, or before, is to try and somehow upgrade it to Lion or Mountain Lion, because right now it's on Snow Leopard, and there's only so much you can do on Snow Leopard in 2021. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out. Max fan control. Full blast, baby. Render that 4K. Oh yeah. This thing has 8 gigabytes of RAM, quad-core i7 processor, and SSD, but and 1 gig graphics card, but it's from late 2012. But anyway, this is what I've been using to edit videos, and yeah, it doesn't do so well with 4K, but other than that, it's great for a 9-year-old computer. It's pretty awesome. Okay, sorry for all the burping. I'm gassy. Peace out.